Hi, I'm Marco Hanna from Phone Dog. We all use social networking. You do, I do, everyone does. But have you ever wanted a social network that just specifically inspires us to do something in our real lives? IM5 is unlike any other social network I've ever seen. It's a social network that inspires us to do great things. We want all of our Phone Dog fans to head over to IM5, spread the word, pre-register for early access, and also just experience what this new social network can do. So make sure to go to im5.com. The Nexus 5 may be old news now, but it's still one cracking of a phone. For a very budget-friendly off-contract price tag, Android 4.4.2, and one of the best-looking Android devices in my opinion, it's an amazing phone. Many of you on Phone Dog are also very fond of this device, so consider this a revisit to one of the most popular Android devices of last year, the Nexus 5 Revisited. The recipe of this phone is, believe it or not, very simple. They added all they needed to this phone, nothing more, nothing less. We have a 5-inch display fitting its name and a great 1920 by 1080 resolution. It's not the best display with some troubles of deep color reproduction, but it's just fine. It's at a whopping 445 pixels per inch. You won't find a single pixel on this display. The core horsepower comes from a 2.3 GHz quad-core Snapdragon 800 processor, 2 GB of RAM, and running inside is Google's latest version of Android 4.4.2. It's the luxury of being a Nexus device completely controlled and guided by the big Google themselves. Turn the phone on the back and you will find an 8-megapixel camera that, well, disappointingly takes okay photos. They are on par with photographs of cheaper low-end and mid-range smartphones, but it's nowhere close to the iPhone 5S, the Nokia 1020, and other flagships from the Android OEMs like the Samsung Galaxy Note 3 or even the S4. But you can quickly forget the ratherly disappointing camera by just glancing at this phone's appearance. Most of you know I covet my iPhone for being beautiful. I also covet the Nexus 5 for being a piece of art. Sure, it's not made of the best materials, but they have put some thought into how this phone should look and feel in your hand. The soft touch material wrapping around the back of this device is just great in the hand. The embossed Nexus also adds a great touch without grabbing all the attention. The front is dominated by a screen and the sides are just there. The buttons on the sides almost blend in with their shinier black finish. If this was the white Stormtrooper Nexus 5 or even the newly announced red Nexus 5, I would keep going on here. Next is going back to the experience. The power inside this phone is nothing to laugh at. It's a pretty powerful device, and with absolutely no bloatware on this phone, the Android experience is just pure. It's quick, it's snappy, all the applications run well because this phone has almost zero lag. It's my most favorable Android experience to date, and I'm sure with more and more stock Android devices just around the corner, it will just keep getting better and better. Another added benefit to the Nexus 5 is just how fast and accurate Google Now is. Active listening is also just amazingly good. Just saying, "Okay Google" will snap this phone into its search function. Since this phone has been receiving praise after praise, there are a couple of issues. For one, the battery life is nowhere near all the other Android smartphones. Barely lasting a day for me is always a little worrisome on my way back home. Next, the camera, it really should be just a bit better than it is here. I just wish for better video recording and better pictures. Also, while the screen is super pixel dense, the colors just don't match its competitors. Even the less pixel dense Moto X can spew out more vibrant colors and more accurate colors than the Nexus 5. Lastly, the speakers are kind of subpar. They point in one direction like the iPhone, and the audio feedback is not clear, and frankly, they're just not loud enough. So there you have it, the Nexus 5 Revisited. Many of you asked me whether this phone is worth the investment. I 100% say it is. And with the rumors of a next Nexus device not being called the Nexus, it may be the last one we ever see. Thanks for tuning in. My name is Marco Hanna from PhoneDog.com, and thanks for watching.